Just wait for the droves of people to come in. Hey man, that was fast. What's up? Well, since somebody's in here, I'll just start talking about what I'm going to do today. Um, so I know I haven't been on live for like 3 weeks. Hey Jason, I haven't been on live for like 3 weeks, but Ed, what's up, dude? It's been every single day off I've had. It's been rainy and cold, either or. So I don't want to sit outside when it's 35 degrees. So I guess we definitely had we had our we had winter, and then we had a false spring, and then another winter, and then a false summer, and then another winter, and then now we're creeping back into hopefully regular spring. Um, so now it's starting to warm up. But yeah, we had like 2 weeks of super cold, and or 3 weeks of super cold. One of those was storming all for like 4 days straight, 5 days. Oh yeah, last weekend we had some, or last Monday. I'm sorry. Not what's today? Thursday? Was it this Monday? I think maybe even this Monday we had some snow. I can't remember anymore. Um, 47 near Chicago. That sucks. Sorry. Yesterday was like 40. I think high of 45, and right now it's like 55 maybe. So that's why I haven't been. Hey, Longineer, what's up, dude? What's going on? I'm telling you right now. Um, so that's why I haven't been doing lives. I haven't really been doing too much in the lawn. I put some fertilizer down here on the front, right here. And I just got some. If you guys are familiar with Baumgars, I'm pretty sure it's a like a tri-state sort of place. Um, I know it's only in the Midwest, but I don't know if it's only in some states. Um, but I went to Baumgars and they have like it's called Max Lawn. I just use that. I think that's just what I'm going to stick with. Like once every 8 weeks, I'm just going to use Max Lawn here on the front because the front. I mean, I did a whole about 8 months in 2019 of nothing in the front at all, and it was just fine. Like I couldn't even water or anything. We had some flooding. I'm right on the mouth of the Platte River, right where it joins the Missouri. I'm like I don't know, a couple miles away from that. In 2019 there was tons of flooding throughout the Midwest. I mean all the way from North Dakota, I think all the way down to like Texas, Louisiana, that sort of span. Um, excuse me. Um, so we had water restrictions because our water treatment plant was underwater, under like 8 feet of water. So I couldn't water. So I didn't do anything at all. Didn't fertilize it. Didn't water it. Didn't. All I did was mow, and it turned out just fine. So this year I'm just not worrying about it because I overseeded. I did not win anything from Lawn Whisperer. I bought this hat last year. Um, um, Oh yeah, and so I did overseed last year, and this GCI seed, I did the turf type tall fescue here in the front. It looks awesome. Um, so I'm just gonna let it be, see what happens, see what it does. I meant bed. Sorry, I meant bed. Sorry. Oh Ned. Oh sorry. Okay. Um, yeah. Did Ned? Didn't you? Aren't you the one who won stuff from Lawn Whisperer? Didn't he win like Doesn't Lawn Whisperer have like his own products now, his own website? And anyway. Okay, yeah. So I just did that Max Lawn stuff, and I did that like 2 weeks ago. So in 6 weeks or eight, yeah, 6 weeks, I'm gonna put some more stuff down. I'm not too worried about it. In the back is where I'm gonna focus all of my efforts because that's Kentucky bluegrass. So I need to make sure I keep it watered. Ned, he came to your house. That's awesome, man. I should catch up on these other YouTuber channels. I haven't been watching too much YouTube, um, any YouTube at all actually. I really don't do anything on my phone or anything anymore. I don't know why, but um, anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So the back is where I need to focus my efforts. I need to make sure I water it because it's Kentucky bluegrass, and it doesn't like drought that much, it doesn't like heat that much. Um, and then plus my silver maples, I've been doing a lot of reading about how people are treating grass under silver maple, or I guess over silver maple roots. And a lot of people are saying that, about half of everything I read said don't even try, just make it a landscape area, just add mulch and decorative stuff. I don't really want to do that because that's like half of my backyard, and I really don't want to like use mulch because my kids play back there, and that doesn't sound fun. They're pretty young, and they're pretty rambunctious, as all toddlers are. So I don't want them, tripping and falling, and getting a face full of mulch or something. Um, so I really don't want to do that. But about half of everything else I read said if you use liquid fertilizer, then the trees won't try to steal it. They're still going to try to steal water from the grass. Not really stealing; they just take priority because they have huge roots. Um, so as long as you use liquid fertilizer, then you can make sure that the grass is going to get it. Rubber mulch. I was thinking rubber mulch, but that stuff's expensive, and it stinks when it gets hot. Um, and I'd have to do underneath those trees. I'd have to do thick layer of it because when it rains, that I've seen like playgrounds and stuff that they put rubber mulch on top of dirt, and when it rains, that turns into like a weird rubbery, muddy soup, and then the mud's just there all the time. I know I could put like some sort of weed barrier or something underneath the rubber mulch, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I read that if you use liquid fertilizer, foliar feed, then your grass gets all that fertilizer, and the trees can't really steal it. Um, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to do a mix of granular and liquid. So I got that. What is it called? That new Yard Mastery stuff that um, I can't think of anything. Oh, that Sunnyland makes. What was they called it? It's like 20 feet away from me. I'm not going to get up and look. Maybe somebody else can think about it. Flagship, that's what it is. I got some of that, so I'm going to put it down at half rate, and then do the other. So that's 24% nitrogen, and I think the rate is like 3 pounds. So I'm going to do 1.5 pounds per thousand, and then I'm going to do the other 1.5 pounds, or whatever, of nitrogen through the liquid. I have. I'm probably just going to use a green punch. I still have some Sunnyland. I think it's 2400. I might use that too, not at once. Just switch it up back and forth. And then of course I got the Sunnyland micros, and actually I think I'm out of microgreen. But I can get some more stuff. But that's what I'm going to do for the back. Striper Man, you're not really late. I'm just blabbing here. What's up, though, Keith? So that's the plan for the back. And I'm going to be doing some of that on Saturday here. I don't know if I'm going to do another live on Saturday. I don't really like the idea of doing 2 lives in 1 week. Especially Saturday. I feel like everyone else does all their videos on Saturdays. Anyway, what I'm doing today, I don't know if I've showed you guys that hill behind me. So it's right on the edge, that sign, right on the other side of that. There's a super steep, it's like this, more like this. Yeah. I think it's like a 42, 45 roughly degree angle or hill, and it's really steep, so it's really hard to mow. So last year I killed everything on the hill, and then I planted some cheap wildflower mix, and it looked pretty cool. It's still a bunch of weeds grew in there because I didn't do it thick enough, and then I did it right before some rain, and it rained way more and way harder than I thought it was going to, because even rain you can't really predict here. So a whole bunch of it washed out. So it just grew some sparse wildflowers and a ton of weeds. So this year I bought some. I posted on Instagram, but Bamert, I think is how you pronounce it, Bamert seed. They make a whole bunch of different wildflower mixes that are specific, like native stuff to your location. I think they have, I don't know, at least 4 different states. And so one of the ones I got was, or the one I got was Nebraska Strong is the blend. So So I got that, and today I'm going to clean up that hill because it's still, I never mowed it down or anything last year. I tried to weed eat it at the end of last year, but it was so just thick and sturdy that that didn't work. So today, with the um, did you use the 41% glyphosate Compare and Save brand? I didn't use when I first did it. Um, I don't think I did Compare and Save. I used some other glyphosate, but I did. I used the glyphosate like a month before I planted the seed. Um, so I don't think there was any glyphosate sitting around still there. But I know for a fact that tons of that seed that I originally did just washed out because there was wildflowers growing in the. I'll have to show you guys, but so at the end of that is a curb, and then that's just the road, which flows right into a drain. But because of my trees and my neighbor's trees and the two hills, so me and my neighbors have a hill right here into the street. On For some reason on my side of the curb, it just collects sticks and junk and leaves and stuff. So I had wildflowers growing in all the leaves that were along the side of the road because our road cleaner doesn't, I guess, ever come over here. Um, so I had wildflowers growing in there. So for sure it was because the seeds, got washed out into the road. Excuse me again. But I got some of that. So today I'm going to clean up the hill. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I really don't care. I want to take care of it because it looks like crap. But a lot of my yard looks like crap right now. So for example, let me show you. You see over there, that brown? That's where I'm going to do Bermuda. But it hasn't gotten anywhere near warm enough to plant Bermuda yet. So I'm still waiting. As you can see over there, hopefully you saw it. There's tons of weeds, but I'm going to chop the crap out of it with I'm taking off the dethatcher on the Sunjo, and maybe it's the Sunjo. Did I get Greenworks or Sunjo? The one with the replaceable head. Now I can't remember. um, but so it has the dethatcher and a scarifier. So I'm switching it out, putting a scarifier on, dropping it all the way down. And because of the mole tunnels, it essentially acts. Oh, I was asking because when I did my renovation, it burnt out all the midnight I had, but it's starting to come back a year later. Hmm. Yeah, that's hmm. I mean, that's so weird. I wouldn't expect Kentucky bluegrass to come back because it's so sensitive. I would expect it to completely die out, but maybe you had some living rhizomes under there that it didn't kill off, maybe. So it came back. Kind of like how quackgrass, or I guess even Bermuda, or you know, I know that's the problem with killing off grasses like that, poatriv, um, is that you have to hit it more than once, sometimes like 3 or 4 times to actually kill it. So maybe it was a scenario like that. I'm not sure. Or you just got lucky and there was still some seeds sitting in the soil and then they germinated. I don't know. That definitely seems weird. Hit like 3 times. That's so weird. I mean, for me, I one time I accidentally I was walking through my yard after I had sprayed a specific spot. Didn't walk through anything after I sprayed it. So I had some Poatriv in the back. Sprayed before I did my reno last year. Sprayed glyphosate on the Poatriv, and I had some other undesirable crap in there. So I sprayed that stuff. Didn't step in that. I walked through my yard. Again, my shoes were clean and dry and everything. And a couple drops from the tip, because I guess I didn't, guess I didn't shake it off. A couple drops from the tip dribbled out into good grass that I had, and it was definitely just a couple drops. There was no way it was like, I don't know, big drops. And a couple days later, I was walking out there to see how the kill off had worked, and I noticed, like 20 feet away, I had, I don't know, probably 6-inch circles of dead Kentucky bluegrass. Um, so, I mean, in my experience, Kentucky bluegrass is incredibly sensitive to glyphosate, but I didn't have like a high quality brand like Midnight, so I don't know. Yeah, that's super weird. Excuse me. Uh, okay, so that's what I'm doing today. Um, oh yeah, the mole stuff, the mole hills, not mole tunnels. Basically, turn the Scarifier into a tiller because it's so loose and stuff. And I drop the Scarifier all the way down. It basically just tills all that up. And the reason I'm fine with doing that is oh yeah, maybe you did. Hey, I have a question. I don't buy the compare and save. I buy um, God, what's the brand? It's at Menards. It's right next to compare and save. It's the same price. I wish I could remember the name. Um, anyway, and I had some that it didn't freeze or anything. It was like over 3 months in the summer, and I went to go use it again, and it had like crystals in it, like not even hard chunks, just like crystals. And I shook it up, and it was like dissolved. But then when I used it, it basically didn't do anything. So I don't know if it's the same situation, and it might just be that we both bought cheap brands, or it is, I don't know. It's so weird, right? Yeah, the Pro Vista. I really want to get some Pro Vista KBG, and I have a bunch of sod farms like 3 miles away. They normally grow Jonathan Green Black Beauty, and I think they do. They have like 3 fields. I think they do 2 fields of Black Beauty and 1 field of Black Beauty Ultra. But I just noticed that they knocked out 2 of their fields, like they're completely dirt, which I've never seen before. But when I was talking last year to the Scots Pro Vista, I was trying to like reserve my seat basically. Um, they said that they're supposed to be bringing sod to my area. So I think that they're going to be growing some Pro Vista Kentucky bluegrass in those sod farms. Um, the thing that sucks is I wish I could just buy like a square, like a square foot of sod, because I just want to like put it in a spot and see what it does, let it spread. Um, I know it's Kentucky bluegrass, so it doesn't spread that fast, blah blah blah. But yeah, the sod farms near me, they don't do install and they don't sell to customers. They only sell like minimum amounts, like full pallets, to sod installers. Um, nice. Did you see it? Like, just look at it, or do you get to go like touch it and stuff? Because I heard somebody, I don't remember who it was when Alan was talking about it last year. I remember somebody commented on his video saying that they got to feel some, and it feels about as rough as tall fescue, which I thought was a little weird, since it should feel the same as regular Kentucky bluegrass. It just should have more resistances, such as the glyphosate. So I thought that part was a little weird, but I don't know if that person even knows what they're talking about. I don't know. And I wish I could remember who it was, but I think it was probably just some Randy on YouTube. I went to their farm. I was supposed to see it in person. Um, it has armor on, yeah, basically. Well, I mean, so I guess it has genetic alterations to allow it to be resistant to glyphosate, but shouldn't feel like. I mean, maybe a little more rough than regular Kentucky bluegrass, but I wouldn't imagine it feels like tall fescue. Um, although everyone says that tall fescue is super coarse, and in my experience, it's not really that coarse. But um, I don't know what they're comparing it to. Anyway, amazing. Oh, I bet it is, man. Is it super dark, or is it just kind of like a regular tall fescue or Kentucky bluegrass? Because man, I've seen some Kentucky. My neighbor, well, I guess not really my neighbor. He's like a mile out, but he redid his lawn in 2019, and I've never seen him out there fertilizing. He ever does is, all I ever see him doing is mowing and watering. But he has the absolute darkest. It's so dark, and it's probably midnight. But holy crap, it is like black. It's insane. Not really black, but it's absolutely insane. And I want to get some of that, but I also, if I'm fertilizing my backyard with the GCI Kentucky bluegrass, it should get pretty dark. Um, oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, I'm not worried about mowing because my auto mower's cutting my bluegrass. And then out here, I mean, obviously my mower's working just fine. Um, but that is cool. Oh yeah, another thing I want to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing the hill. And who cares? I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram or whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. And then I'm putting down some mole, just castor oil granular. Um, I'm putting that. You're supposed to put it down like in a strip. I think I talked about it in my last video. I can't remember what I talked about in my last video. I blab on so much. Um, but I'm putting that down. You're supposed to put it down over the course of like 3 days. What I don't know if 3 days is the example or what they suggest. It's not really clear in the instructions. But you basically do a strip or a section, water it in, and you're supposed to do it from like let's say over here is the street. So I'd start at my street and then keep doing sections um, over to where I want the moles to stay, to not come in my yard again. Um, so I'm going to start on the street, just a big enough swath that my sprinklers can hit it. You're supposed to water it in for 10, 15 minutes. So that's the biggest section I'm going to do. Um, and then tomorrow, when I'm off work, I'll come and do another section. Again, the same, enough for the sprinklers to be able to hit it all. And then I have to water both the first and the second section. And then you're supposed to do the third section finally. And I mean, I think my sprinklers can reach enough that I can do half the front yard day one, the other half of the front yard day two, and then the backyard day three. We'll see. But then the other thing I'm going to do is I want to try it. So on the Keep Off the Grass podcast, or live cast, I guess it's not really a podcast, it's a live cast. They had Jim from Ecologel BioPro, and I asked a question because I've seen stuff about how when you're doing stress preparation, hey Vinny, what's up, dude? When you're doing stress prep for your lawn, I've read two very distinctly different ways to do it, and one is to use something like a cytokinin or a high um, concentration of sea kelp like CK or Cytogrow. Cytogrow is cytokinin, but technically so is CK. It's kelp extract, which is doing the same thing. It's stimulating cytokinin. And I'm no expert and I'm no scientist, so don't get at me, okay? If I'm technically incorrect about that. But I do know that both a product like CK and a product like Cytogrow are doing the same thing. So they are stimulating growth throughout the whole plant, right? And I think it is focused on root growth and development, um, not so dissimilar from phosphorus. Yeah. Um, Maybe a combination of phosphorus and potassium, kind of like those, the action of both of those combined. I guess I could say. Um, But so that's one way to do it. And then the other way to prepare for stress, as I've read, is to use a plant growth regulator. Technically, Cytogrow is a plant growth regulator because it just doesn't stunt the growth; it does the opposite. So technically speaking, CK, Cytogrow, and something like Tnex, they're both of those are plant growth regulators. They just do opposite things. But using something like Tnex, where it slows the top growth, but as I've read, it also pushes bottom growth. So you're stimulating root growth. But like I said, so does cytokinin, right? So I asked Jim on that live cast, I said, hey, what happens if you were to use Cytogrow with a plant growth regulator? I didn't specify Tnex, I should have. But I don't know if that really would have mattered because I have Tnex. I got it some from Jason G, and then some from I don't remember his name now. I left the Discord a long time ago, but he was on the Lawn Form Discord. So he sent me some, and so did Jason G. So I have a bunch because I asked both of them at the same time, thinking one of them would say no, but then they both went, "Yeah, here." Um, I paid for shipping, but regardless of that, so I was thinking, what would happen if I were to put down like the plant growth regulator, and then like 1 or 2 weeks later, put down Cytogrow? Would it, or even put them down at the same time? I don't know about that, but would it counteract each other? Would it have a neutral effect? Like, I can't think of a good example, but or would it do something like, I know lots of people will put down plant growth regulator, like Tnex. I'll just say Tnex as my example of that type of plant growth regulator. They'll put down like Tnex and then put down fertilizer because the grass is still stimulated by the fertilizer. It's getting the nutrients it needs, but then it's not pushing so much growth as it normally would with a fertilizer. So would it have that sort of effect where it's still getting all the nutrients it needs? It's super happy, but then you don't have to mow every 3 days because you just fertilized. So that was a question I had. He basically said, yeah, it should coexist happily. And then somebody else on that live cast also commented and said they do it all the time. I wish I could remember who it was. Maybe it was, I was going to say maybe Jason Troy, but I think I might just be mixing him up with somebody else. Anyway, so I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried that. If you have, let me know. But I think I'm going to try it just in the back, just in the bluegrass. Especially because, like I said, I am trying to do more foliar applications to stimulate the grass to grow regardless of the tree roots. And then I'm also going to do some root drenches so the trees stop craving so much stuff and they get healthy too. I mean, they're super healthy, but so that's something I'm definitely interested in trying just to see what happens. I am just going to do, I think, maintenance rates for both the Cytogrow and the Tnex. Again, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm interested to see. And I have both, so might as well use them. I'm definitely not going to use them up front. It's, in my opinion, it's a waste when I don't have to do anything to the front to get it to grow, except for, as I think you can see, where's my finger? Right here, this little section. I left leaves on it all winter, and then we got over the course of like a month, we ended up getting like 24 inches of snow sitting on top of those leaves. So all of that was dead when I finally took care of it. That's why I also have that dead spot in the back that I'm seeding. And then I stupidly thought I had my edge guard turned on when I went and put down that Max Lawn. It was the stuff with pre-emergent with dithiopyr. I thought I had my edge guard on, started going, and it pushed all that dithiopyr with fertilizer on top. I'm still getting growth. I mean, it looks like a lot of growth on the camera because it actually has tons of grass clippings on it. Because I mowed next to it, and then when I came up and turned around, I did the whole thing where you push the handle of the mower down so that the front of the mower lifts up to turn around quickly, and it's sprayed grass clippings all over. So I don't know how much that's actually going to grow. I see tons of stuff like little babies, but yeah, I don't know if that dithiopyr is going to slow it all down or kill it or what. That's not a big deal. Because I did find some decent sod at my local, it's not local, it's like a 20-minute drive, which I'm sure for a lot of people that sounds like ridiculous. And I'm like, oh, it's a 20-minute drive. I would have to go to a different town. But I did find some good sod at both Home Depot and Lowe's. They have a really good tall fescue variety. It's really similar. It's not exact, but it's really similar to the Sun and Shade turf type tall fescue mix from Seed Superstore. So I'm interested in that. So I might get some sod and throw it right there, especially because it's like always shady right here. This is the most sun it gets, what you're seeing right now, because of the shape of my house and the fact that this is on the north side, blah, blah, blah. And then I also found a really good Kentucky bluegrass blend of sod that I might just use in the back. Anyway, I feel like this is why I need to do lives more often, so I don't feel like I have to catch you guys up on everything that I'm doing in one. Looks great from here, man. I've never tried PGR, but might when my new lawn gets going. Yeah, I mean, sod farmers don't grow shade mix. Well, I mean, sure they do. Sod farms grow tall fescue, and tall fescue is great in the shade. So, yeah, sure they do. And also depends on what kind of sod farm you're talking about. Like sod farms next to me, they have one patch. It's not massive because I think it's more of a test plot, but it's surrounded by giant oak trees. Not like right next to it, but enough that it's at least half shade throughout the day on that patch. Um, and I guess I don't want to say it's a patch. It's more like, I don't know, probably about 10,000 square feet, just compared to their other spots that are like, 150,000 square feet or something. Way more than that. That's stupid. Like acres, um, like 5, 10 acres of grass. Although in mine, they're like giant circles. I don't know what other sod farms look like. I've never seen other sod farms other than these ones, other than like pictures, but it's not like a full satellite picture. So these are just giant circles that are just big enough for those giant agricultural sprinklers with on the wheels, to roam over. Again, that might be normal. I don't know, whatever. That's not really important. Again, I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything on any of this stuff, but yeah. So that's the plan for that. And then, like I said, the T-Nex cider grow, gonna try it out, see what happens. Um, I don't really need to use T-Nex in the back because I got the automower and it's mowing all day, every day. Well, like from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. is when it mows. Um, or that's the schedule. It doesn't mow the whole time because that's the charge. But so I don't have to worry about that. I just want to try the combination to see what it do. Anyway, so let me show you the hill real quick before I get started. I'm gonna kill this before I get started because it's kind of windy. Not that bad right here because I'm in a little alcove, but out there on the hill it's definitely gonna be windy. Well, I mean, tall fescue compared to perennial ryegrass and Kentucky bluegrass is definitely shade hardy. Obviously, not as much as fine fescue, but no, the issue underneath my silver maples is the fact that the silver maples have a shallow root system, or they have shallow feeder roots, so they're stealing nutrients and water. So the grass dries out and it doesn't get the nutrients it needs. It's not because they're shaded, because I can show you, but there's not really that much shade under there, except for like you know I don't know, high point of the day around noon. But otherwise, I've checked once an hour back there last year, and I was getting like 6, 7 hours of sun back there on on all that grass. So I would say that's not high shade. It's pretty average shade, I guess. Well, no, I know that's higher shade than normal, but it's not so bad that I can only use fine fescue. Anywho, let me well first, excuse me. So here's this. I'll show you this. Why not? So yeah, it looks like crap right now, and that's fine because I haven't done anything to it at all except for mowed the spots that got really bad. I also really need to trim my bushes over here, especially this one. This one gets full of wasps. And there's Husker mowing away. But I'm just going to flip the camera. There we go. So as you can see, stuff is growing in here. I've had some accidents with dogs and then myself running through this and being stupid. But, we're getting a lot of baby grass moving. And the automower, it literally has no effect on it. The biggest problem back here right now is the fact that we got like a week of below freezing overnights. So that I guarantee that either killed off a bunch of this and it just hasn't browned out yet. And by that I mean the baby, not all the grass, just the baby grass. Or dramatically stunted it, so now I just have to wait it out. And I got some weeds growing in back here. Look at that. I haven't really checked that out too much. I'm not too concerned. Got a lot of this crap. I don't even know what this is, but again, not too worried about it. And then I dropped the height of cut on this pretty dramatically on the mower. So it's really, I don't want to say yellowed out, but it's not looking super happy, and I just need to fertilize it. It'll look better once I do. But it doesn't look terrible. Just normally, if I'm on the edge of the fence, then this is the side that looks good, and that's the side that looks bad. But right now, it's the opposite. And I did not fertilize this. I do not plan to. This strip is just, to me, it's worthless. um, because the previous owner had, and I'm sure you can see some of these dips, had big old pine trees here, and then ripped them out. But then, like, nothing but weeds will grow over here. So I got some clover. I got some of this. I think it's probably clumping fescue. It's just real chunky and thick. I'm not too worried about identifying any weeds. So, and then I got like tons of wild violet, which you can see all the little purple flowers. But while we're here, this is the hill I'm talking about. Um, it's pretty bad, but yeah, you can see I need to. It's really matted down, thick, tall stuff. So that's what I'm going to do today: is mow all this down, rake it in the street, clean it up out of the street, including see all that stuff in the, I guess, gutter. I don't know. That's where all the wildflowers were growing when the seed washed out. Um, so yeah, I'm going to clean all that up because the street sweeper never came. But yeah, that's my plan today. Oh, and I also planted some stuff, so you can see. And I think the cold probably killed off those too, if they were even alive when I planted them. I got them from the Sam's Club. Just saw them when I was there. I didn't go out of my way to pick anything high quality or anything. But over here, so I have a full white lilac there. But I planted a lilac, hydrangea, lilac, hydrangea, lilac, hydrangea. Because I thought the combination of a light blue hydrangea with a purple lilac would be really cool. And then over here, I did wisteria, which I don't think it's alive. I did 5 combination daffodils and tulips, I think. Then I did another hydrangea, the other 5 daffodils, tulips, and another wisteria, which like I said, I don't think any of those are going to make it. But they weren't expensive, so I'm not that worried about it. Just kind of bummed. Okay. Oh. So that's what I did since you saw me last, and that's what I'm going to be doing till you see me next. Is the stuff I already mentioned. And if it's nice enough, next weekend or next Thursday or whatever, then I'll probably do another live. I just don't like doing lives while I'm also doing stuff because it's loud. Can't really look at the chat if I'm busy doing something else. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap up here. Thanks for jumping on, guys. That's all I got. I'll see you next time. Peace.